So in this case study, we got a G35X. It's dated for 11, I believe 2007. So that's the last quarter. So I believe that rolls over to 08. But I believe that body style went from, I don't know, 03 to 07. But I don't care. I'm just going by what the sticker says. So let's just say 07, 08. It is what it is. G35. This one got the VQ35. That matters to me, the engine code, because I'm very familiar or accustomed to engines like that. The 3.5, which goes in various models like the Nissan Pathfinder, 350Z, G35. What the Quest fans when they used to make those. Anything 3.5 V6 wise, this Infiniti, whatever, the 3.7s, it's all pretty much Nissan's product. This car was towed in because it had a no start condition, and there's going to be more so narrating this and probably stopping at certain points, but this is how I'm doing the videos, more so like a lecture, but it's something you could sit your ass down and learn. Don't be asking no goddamn questions besides the ones you're gonna be leaving in the comment section. So make sure you hit the like button and make sure you subscribe. So let's begin, because I'm just rambling with my talking points. So car got 142,379,000 miles, and checking the oil sticker. I guess it leaves us some play for changing oil. But we can see the condensation build up in the glasses, sunroof, and back. And that's just context clues, so pay attention. Got a power steering leak. I'm probably gonna, next scene, I'm trying to get the air box out on that side, so just so I can get like better looking. And I wanted to peek at the valve cover gasket because it was saturated oil. See, the alternator is saturated oil, valve cover, power steering fluid. So I'll go to the valve cover, I'm assuming like in a second or two. So here's the valve cover on the side. Now the opposite bank, the opposing bank, is leaking in that same way. We look in the belt housing and back of the starter is wet with oil. The power steering rack is kind of saturated with oil, but it's not like leaking. The starter cable, we can see oil migrated to that, basically the solenoid. It was a little, I could have got detailed pictures, but I didn't. Battery is the wrong size. So just for shits and giggles, because just I like to work backwards and I work off probability and context clues and what it is I got to test. So I'm just rotating the engine just to make sure nothing is like locked up or whatever. I'm doing basic check-ins like a multi-point inspection. Look at the upper ball joint loose, so he needs suspension work. And I pulled up some codes, which we got basically some stuff in the body control module, but we had low battery, and we had stuff from, there was what, the IP. Let's scroll back for a second and let me pause this and the video. Let me go back because I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page. It's the intelligent power distribution, the IPDU, and they had like 2 codes in it, which, I mean, I looked it up and it was pointing to like other stuff, and some people were saying basically the how can we say, the steering lock. I didn't have issues with like steering lock, so it locked and unlocked when it's supposed to. So playing with relays, and then I knew about a water leak that was nasty, so I pulled this lower panel off and saw this oil, pulled out the connector out the BCM, and you can see how it looks, the green markings, it looks nasty. And basically what I had did was kind of like blew some human breath in it a couple times and proceeded it back in it, and we got to get it started. You can see like the bad mode that's going on. If you want to know, jump in your starter. This is how I verified it. I messed up the scene, but go ahead, give it a crank. So what let's pay attention. Go ahead, give it a crank. So what I did was I cleaned the connections up, and being as though I lied, I didn't clean it, but I did kind of like blow on it a little bit, did a couple wiggle tests, and like I said, it was green marking. That's not good for electrical connection, so we had water migration. I did verify that it was like water leaking that's coming from top and then coming down from the bottom, so we got to check the operation of the sunroof. Do the sunroof open? So now I just gotta check the drains, blow some air in it, and make sure it drains back at the bottom. But yeah, we got like a water leak issue that hit the BCM up. So what I'm probably gonna do is get some contact cleaner and clean them up, blow some air in it, and that's the best I could do. You can hear the way it sounds. We got a exhaust leak that's kind of like almost severe, kind of bad, it's noisy. It does have like a little backfire, backfire. I know one of the cylinders is probably not firing good. This engine, or overall this car, probably has this lack of too many services, or just not being serviced, period. That's what I want to say. So just the lack of services did not receive. I imagine it's going to cost a little bit to get it running right. It is what it is, but my job is to look at it. And the exhaust leak under here, I don't do exhaust, so he's going to have to go to an exhaust shop and get it done, and that I know several. But the flanges are like rotted, period, so he's going to need like wire piping coming off of the banks, and so that way it can, whatever the exhaust want to do, or exhaust shop want to do, that's not my job. But the only reason is I just don't be dealing with the cutting and welding. I love my eyes. I had a few eye injuries. I don't want any more. I'll take no risk. It's a career for somebody else.
Oh, you mean you talk about Philly price?
Hold on. Even though the engine running like this, with the engine light like flashing, I like to know how it sounds. So I bumped the RPM up just a little bit so I can hear the cylinders straightened out. So I know these VQ35s, like I know them like the back of my hand. Definitely gonna need like spark plugs and coil packs, and then change all of them. So to address this issue, pretty much going to be doing a list of things. One, we need to worry about where this water leak is coming from, because I was messing with the drains yesterday and I blew some air in it. I wouldn't say that it's drained or not, it did get flow, but at the same time it makes me feel like, what if we leaking at the sunroof, like if it's not sealed completely, or the structure, I don't know, something. Or what if the windshield is not sealed, because I don't see a stain coming down the pillar, the trimming that you would take off where the side airbag would be. I didn't see any stains coming from the headliner as well. So usually you can work your way, working backwards like gravity, follow the root pretty much. I didn't see any stains in the interior, more so at a corner specifically, and that would be at the base of like the windshield. That just makes me feel like it's coming from there. What I had to do is I'm going to strip the carpet a little bit and strip some more trimming and stuff, just so I can get the root, or like the root, not like a root like highway, like the root, like the root cause, like where's the source at? This is what I need to get to, or whatever. Then the other repairs I could like recommend, and we get that done obviously, but I kind of feel like this going to be one of those type of jobs where I'm not confident that this car needs TLC, is what I'm trying to say. It needs a lot of work. And it's like an okay looking car, nice looking car. You clean it up, be nice looking car. But we know about this car when it first came out, it was like very nice, and it was nice, and it was expensive. To let this kind of car go, it's kind of like sad, but I hope to, would it be worth it, him putting it back together or buying another one? I have absolutely no idea at this point, but we need to worry about the water leak, and then worry about the way the engine running afterwards, touch up the suspension, get this up to par, get this worthy wise, so that way it's going to take, this water leak is an issue. How did I know before I get off, how did I know to look where I looked at? So I do like basic check-ins, and I always do process of elimination. Most of the electrical issues could come, not all of them, but most of the time could come down to like grounds or shorts, or more so water in computers and electrical connectors, causing like intermittent failures or hard to explain stuff that just don't make stuff when you're trying to diagnose it. So whenever you ever realize when you're trying to diagnose something following a flow chart, no matter what you do, it don't make no sense, because this could be something that's just out of nature or out of the diagnostic that they don't teach you. This mostly just water intrusion, water migration. This does a lot and mess up your specs when you're trying to diagnose. So you got to be careful with that. So this is more so a visual type of thing. pulled my meter out to make sure to start it because I was concerned that it was saturated with oil. But once I felt like that worked, we got to worry about something else. I went and I said pull codes. It wanted to, some of the codes was pointing at like the stand light. I didn't have issues with like the stand light, but process of elimination, I followed the water trail because it was a green spot and that the flooring on the passenger side. So I followed it and it was wet on the pillar where the BCM is located at, mounted to the pillar. 2 bolts to take it off, a bolt and a nut, 10 millimeter. Got those off and just started pulling connectors, and all of them wasn't like corroded. It was just that one connector, and that was the one that disables like the car from starting, or at least when we're trying to start it, it wouldn't start obviously, but clearly we have important circuits in there that's pertaining to why we're not starting in the first place. So like I said, I blew in it a few times, and I'm going to get some contact cleaner in there, but me blowing it and reseating the connection brought everything back up the part where the car could like start on its own pretty much. I did force it on, but just to have the ignition portion to where you can do it from the button, that also passes through the BCM. A lot of things pass through the BCM. Lighting, your doors, your anything like motorized and interior wise, some stuff like lights, horns, anything you think of that mostly run through the fuse box with relays can be controlled on like outputs, depending on what type of car you got. So and that includes some stuff on the motor, which we could worry about in more videos I do in the future for you. Right now I won't be able to explain it in this video. It wasn't nothing too deep where I need to, yes, I'll do more diagnostic stuff because I know I lack that, but a lot of me just helping people just on a do it yourself. But I show you guys the more technical side, the side that guys, a lot of people won't show you. But a lot of these, yeah, diagnostic could be inconclusive or just not really complete is the word. I don't know if I pronounced it right, but most of diagnostic is based off of probability. And yes, you have to do processes of elimination, like what probability, well, like basic math and like I said, theories and stuff like that. What don't make sense, having those abilities will help you out, but following a flow chart nowadays it could be a base, but you have to like fabricate it from there. So everybody, they don't diagnose cars the same. Like really, I can diagnose a lot of stuff with a power probe, and you could diagnose stuff with like oscilloscope, and you checking ejector postings and with an oscilloscope or picoscope and doing stuff like that. Well, what I'm gonna do that for when I can just like by ear listen to the pulse off the power probe and follow the rhythm. I'm pretty good with music. I'm pretty good with along what the rhythm is. So you see how certain natural abilities I have, I can use to bypass using big stuff. I don't diagnose cars with an oscilloscope or picos. I don't have those. And even at the dealership, they don't have those either. But the abilities I have, based on educated guesses, probability, I do know how to diagnose. I do have book work, yes. And how I approach things, probability, and just create like troubleshooting, and like I said, everything I can think of, like the attributions, is if I put it all in one basket, that makes me the way I am. So when I say this will be, no, if you don't pay attention, if you miss it, if you don't know what to look for, yes. But if visually checking stuff sometimes do you justice. I've had tough diagnostics where they didn't follow the wiring diagram per se. Me looking at the wiring diagram rather than the actual flowchart and steps, I could pinpoint a certain leg or a certain circuit where I know I need to look at. I don't know where, if it's from the fuse box, the back of the car, or whatever. So I got to tear up the interior to figure out why we haven't opened, and or short, or something burnt out and just causing too much restriction, messing up the voltage, and that gets confusion with resistance, because how they put everything in a flow chart might not be your situation. So you have to tailor your diagnostic skills and your manner, not my manner, your manner. You might see me do something, but you might do it differently later. You see how I do stuff, like, wow, I see guys do this and yada yada yada. I don't care which way or whatever. This is how I do it. I'm me. Everybody telling themselves how you're supposed to be. So I'm Leekautorepair. I'll get more diagnostic videos for you guys, and let's get it done.